Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Magic the Gathering Duels of the Poop Scoopers. Poop scooping all day, all century.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Half-Life 3 actually confirmed. Like, that does actually...
It's out right now.
It is actually out. Yeah, no, Austin just told us... I'm ready, by the way. Austin just told us that that the Dota 2 mod tools, which I'm excited about because there's going to be, like, you know, Dota System game mode. Really, that's running on Source, which is...
Because everyone's all like, we're recording this on a Thursday, the same Thursday that was after the day that Twitch did all its Twitch stuff. So everyone's Twitch.
We'll get to that next.
Yeah. But basically, just nice and quietly, Valve released the alpha. It's called the Alpha Workshop or something for Dota 2, and it runs on Source 2, and you can launch Dota 2. It's been ported into Source 2, and it like 90% works. And it, like, the game, what's crazy to me is the thing that, like, just to me was, like, really cool was that the game loads, like, instantly.
Really?
Like, it's amazing. Yeah, when you get into a game, you know how it usually takes, like, 20 seconds?
Yeah.
To get into the game, it takes, like, 5 seconds in Source 2.
Really?
So just kind of, like, pooted this thing out into the night silently.
It's just there, and
didn't even make an announcement.
No one really seems to notice. Like, I told you guys, like, 5 minutes ago, and you were like, really? I didn't know that. It's something that I would think would be all over gaming news sites everywhere, but no one really is.
Well, and you said that they found Left 4 Dead 3 files in it, so that's also...
Yeah, I feel like no one really... Like, maybe by the time this video comes out, which is a few days from now, people will take notice, but Source 2 is out. You can launch.
Do we know what about Source 2 is substantial over the original Source engine? Have there been docs that say?
Apparently,
well, I know, but like, why?
It's apparently it's super intensive on your PC, so you actually need a quite powerful PC to run things in Source 2.
Okay.
So it uses a lot. Like, really, there's not much to be known about it because it's just kind of there.
Okay. So we don't know what the resource trade-off is, what we get out of that proposition for having it take up so many resources.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it would make sense because, like, if we we need more HDR
Orlando
lighting.
Levels of bloom.
It would make sense because, like, the original Source engine lasted what? Like, when did Half-Life 2 come out? Like, what?
2006.
Yeah, so that's like almost 10 years old of the engine, so it probably is resource intensive because they're planning on making it last a decade, which it probably will, because, I mean, honestly, Source Engine stuff still looks pretty good. Like, even, like, Source Engine 1 stuff still runs pretty well and can look pretty good, so...
You guys all see that we all have the same fucking two...
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to make a comic, so we were all chatting, but it was...
Yeah, I think that is...
No more chatting. Let's talk about...
Source 2.
Let's go back to that. I don't want to talk about that.
Source 2, I'm most surprised at how quietly this is happening. Like, this Source 2 is a pretty big deal.
It's probably a conspiracy, right?
Yeah, it's a conspiracy theory,
it's being muted by Valve. They've been deleting
like,
things.
Obama tried to tell the world, and then
serious?
David was like, he put a finger to his lips.
No, that's why we're all talking about this net neutrality stuff, is so that they could silently release Source 2. Like, that's all it's about.
Oh,
that's
Comcast
the reason.
did this.
Yeah, you know, like, soon, I'm sure Gaben is gonna be like, hey, Half-Life 3 confirmed, while Obama
from
talks
his
about
skull
the NSA.
mansion on the side of a fucking mountain.
Yeah, exactly.
Mount Rushmore. Instead of George Washington is going to be Gaben's face, and inside of his face will be a fucking volcano lair.
Eye of Thundera! Let me see sight beyond sight!
I really like that he took it to Thundercats.
Oh yeah. I heard that they were making a new Thundercats, and I think they did. I think they did actually just come out with a new Thundercats.
It may have come and gone already.
Yeah.
It might have been on Cartoon Network, and I don't even think I knew about it because it looked shitty or something.
Yeah. That's probably fair.
Thundercats ho.
So Half-Life 3, so what features do we know about it right now? So there's going to be, like, the best crowbar wood splintering, right? There's going to be really good choppers.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is the joke about Half-Life that is kind of just untold, but, like, you're going to fling it. I knew you were going to fling it, but don't worry about it. But the thing that, like, I would say, like, 50% of the people who make Half-Life 3 jokes probably never played any of the Half-Life games.
Yeah, that's true.
I've never played any of the Half-Life games.
Really? I grew up. I mean, I grew up on Half-Life.
I was
to be honest
on
with you.
PC terms when Half-Life came out. I was still a console bro, so
Well,
The
the
original
thing I want
Half-Life's
to know
great.
is why do people have so much invested in this game? Because I honestly didn't think that the hype worked to the extent that this amount of hype deserves
I think
or necessitates.
I think it's a Duke Nukem Forever kind of thing. Like it's
Yeah, that's correct.
yeah,
That's
and-
right.
But I think I can be a little bit more certain than I was with Duke Nukem Forever that Half-Life 3 is actually going to be good, not Duke Nukem Forever, because it's Valve.
Well,
So
Duke Nukem got freaking passed around to like 5 different developers, or they rebuilt the engine like 5 times. Is what I meant.
Yeah.
what
I'm
is this
surprised that
going
they
to?
ever even really made that game. They really shouldn't have made it. They should have
Well,
just
if you
never
follow the
released
development, there was like a big list of shit that happened along the way, and it probably shouldn't have come out like 3 different times.
it. Yeah. Mentor of the Meek? Which one is
Oh,
that?
yeah, I want to draw a card. Of course I want to. What are you fucking kidding me? Don't even ask me that.
Just draw me the
It took
card.
me like a half an hour to fucking read the text. Jesus.
Yeah, Duke Nukem Forever, that's, one of those things.
I actually am one of the few people that'll go on record as saying that I don't think it was as awful as everyone says it was.
Pretty bad.
But that being said, in the first 10 minutes of the game, you pick up a piece of shit and start throwing it at mirrors. So do with that information what you will. I'm not saying it's amazing, but,
It does have its own
Not
comedic
awful,
value for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Why does
but-
Mentor of the Meek have, other white creatures you control of +1/+1, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna probably use your volcanic ogre now and
Volcanic
get me
Ogre.
up your
I don't.
Quest for the Goblin Lord.
Quest for the Volcanic Ogre Lord.
Oh, it's all Ogre Lord now.
It is all Ogre Lord now.
You're down to my swamp.
No.
That's what magic is gonna be. We're just gonna be weird laughing noises now. Yeah, no, so Source 2, that's pretty cool. Like, I'm pretty excited about that. Bolt of
What would it
Garanos.
mean before I need to care about it? Yeah,
Mhm.
whatever.
Bolt of butt face, more like it.
Bolt of Garanos. Oh my god, it
How
does
many-
it to everybody forever?
What?
Your stupid gutter snipe fuckers. They do it,
Yeah.
yeah, damage to each opponent. Damn. Damn.
You have
dude.
one too. How do you not know how that card works?
I thought it was like towards the opponent that you were using the instant on, but I guess yeah, it's to every opponent. That's fucked up,
Yeah,
man.
this is like a central card to my deck, but I haven't actually read it yet.
It's not really central to my deck.
Okay.
It's like tertiary at best.
Tertiary.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like Nimbus of
Nimbus
Wings.
wings.
What does that do? Oh, man.
Fuck.
Wow.
I don't like that.
Wowie wee wow.
But don't do that.
Let's bring Borat back, guys.
Very nice.
He's Sacha Baron Cohen's gonna be in a new movie. Sacha Baron Cohen's in a new movie, I think.
What did I do?
Your butthole. Your hole of a butt.
I don't know. Whatever. I don't care.
He destroyed your thing.
I did.
I don't even care.
Yeah,
Just
that's
whatever.
fair.
You're gonna
Well,
hang up on me eventually.
I
anyway.
can't be mad.
Mad
I mean, I
'cause
can't,
bad.
and I am. But
I'm a canned ham.
are you?
Mm-hmm.
That's actually
Oh.
like
Nice.
a man. Oh, it's Ken Ham, but I
Yeah.
always think it's canned ham.
Canned
My
ham.
favorite joke from Borat is the whole not segment. Like that. It's just.
You cannot have this. That's not what it is.
Yeah, that's definitely not it.
It's when the guy's trying to teach him the knot thing, and he's just. I can't remember what the joke was, but he's like, "You look very nice." Not.
He waited like way longer than that. So
Yeah.
it was nice. He kind of wobbled his head a little bit to an invisible beat as he was doing that.
Yeah.
He's actually like Sacha Baron Cohen is like legitimately a genius. Like he is so fucking good.
Yeah, but then watch Dictator and tell me that, because that was like
All
a
right,
legitimately
yeah, that
horrible
was
movie.
that seemed pretty bad. But I don't know how much of that was him really. You know?
Oh, I'm gonna hope none of it.
Yeah.
'Cause I pretty much have liked Ali G, Borat, and what was the other one? The German guy. I can't remember his name.
Butter snipe.
Germanicans.
Yeah, Buttersnipe. That was the good. Germanic Buttersnipe
Yeah,
was the other movie.
Germanic Buttersnipe. That was an excellent film. I remember
Sounds
that.
like a great alcoholic
Oh,
beverage.
it's
Germanic butter snipe.
fantastic. Yeah,
There's a buttery nipple. That's a thing.
it was a buttery snipple.
I mean, I could go grab some butter and put it on my nipple, and I'd have a buttery nipple, but I'm not gonna brag about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should probably keep that to yourself.
Okay. Not.
Nah, you got to be.
That's good.
It's
great.
Not have this. I could not have this. Dude, Borat was the only thing that anyone talked about for like 2 months. It was so dumb.
good.
I mean, it really was really good.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, he's a storm breather. Breath of storms.
Breathing storm.
Yeah, he's breathing storms. Not really gonna do anything with him though.
I tried to have a flying creature and I wasn't allowed. So
No.
why do you get to?
No flying creatures for you ever. What's this thing?
Tonight.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Spaghetti.
So,
Rob, you have one of those too.
no, I don't have a Charmbreaker
Yep.
Devil.
Oh, you don't? Oh, that was Nick.
No Charmander
Still be
Devil.
mad at you though.
I don't have any Charmander Devils.
Nah.
Not. No Charmander Devil, not. So, you want to talk about how Twitch is fucking broken forever and all the bad things in the world happen?
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
shitty.
outbreak of Ebola and
Pretty-
all of that.
Pretty sure Twitch invaded Poland.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
happened.
Twitch is actually building an army. I don't know if you saw the tank. It's
Join
Been
the Twitch
invaded.
army today.
John?
on Google Plus comments for the last month. No, that didn't happen. So you guys are probably as not that frustrated as I am, right?
No.
I'm super frustrated.
It's
I
I.
don't hate that word like that, but
We're clearing the air first and just saying that like everybody that's spewing hate and vitriol doesn't actually even know what the real story is.
It's like,
Yeah.
I was pretty unhappy initially. Then I was like, all right, not the end of the world. And then after the Twitch AMA, I'm like, all right, you know,
I didn't actually still even see that. So if you want to let me know what happened in that.
it was a weird combination of him avoiding questions and answering questions. Like
Oh,
he was
that's exactly what I
being
thought.
he was being both transparent and not transparent at the same time. Like not.
Nah.
Well, my cards just went away.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Wow.
You should shock the other. You really should have shocked the other thing.
You should shock my monkey, Rob. How about that?
Hey, what did
Alright.
that card do, Rob?
It
The
killed
streamer just
everything,
make
but it
sure-
didn't actually work the way that I had hoped it was gonna work, which doesn't really make
No.
any sense. Oh, because it was exiled. So if a creature is exiled, it doesn't get to do its death ability. Didn't know that.
Right.
Yeah, because I was going to use my Pitchburn Devils to kill Austin, so that way everyone would be cleared, but no.
Mm-hmm. Ah, okay. I didn't know you were gonna do that. Well,
I wanted to have us all back at nothing, so you don't have an advantage over me, and now I'm in last
Like,
again.
Use all my. Okay, good.
I don't
I'm
even
gonna
know why I
inspire
have 8
myself.
health right now. I don't even remember taking much of any damage. But
see, you
apparently
really
I
should have
did.
killed
Oh wait,
the
Nick's
other
just
guy.
dead.
Yeah, that's why I said you really should have killed the other thing.
Oh, because you could see what cards Austin had in his hand.
Oh no, that was
before.
on the field. Like that's he gets an instant.
It wasn't an 8-4.
Yeah, but like if you read the card, he gets an instant back
Yeah,
from the
whenever he
graveyard
casts.
every turn. Yeah, and yeah, yeah,
Got one, boys.
yeah. That looks pretty good for you. It depends on what I draw here right now.
So, like, you basically just threw that game for both of us, Rob.
Not necessarily.
Why did that happen?
Oh,
well,
I mean, honestly, Nick, I think you basically at that point got to choose who won.
Yeah.
Because.
I accidentally left the game.
Oh no.
Nice. We'll tell you what
Whatever.
happens. I'll
be out here.
I think if you kill my creature with shock that turn, Rob would end up winning more than likely
Mhm.
because we both had nothing on the field.
Yep.
Okay.
You had that definitely very scary.
And you
So-
wouldn't. You actually would. I wouldn't have been able to kill you, but he did. So I was just kind of leveling the playing field.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. Still fuck Rob though.
Yeah, that's
Not.
been a prevailing trait. Oh, not. Okay.
I'm sorry.
So, like, everybody keeps saying all this shit happened, and then they immediately invalidate whatever they just said by saying, because Google bought Twitch. Even to this point, regardless of all the shit that's happened, they haven't still done that.
Yep. That's true.
There was an article in VentureBeat that led to an article in Variety that now led to an article in Destructoid, all three of them citing each other back to anonymous sources,
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
which is not journalism.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm really
what-
pissed that Destructoid did that too.
The other thing is like people cited the use of whatchamacallit? The fact that that they're using audible magic to confirm that it's Google, but it's like that doesn't actually confirm that it's Google.
this confirms it to me, because why would they not use Content ID? Why would they pay another company?
Well, no, Audible
to
Magic
handle
is
the
the
service?
one that. Oh, okay. So you got the multi. All right, I lose.
Yeah.
All right.
Are
Well,
they
I
Content ID?
I had another sorcery anyway, regardless that turn, so I would have gotten one back.
okay.
So you were dead regardless.
All
So
right.
I would have definitely drawn
I was
one.
if I actually got an instant
Those
draw instead of this
floats,
one,
yeah.
like then I would have actually killed you, unfortunately.
Austin wins. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Yay.
That was close though.
That's close.
It came down to my last straw. Like if I had gotten one of my instant cards, then I would have had you. Oh well.
Yeah. Well, it's the way the magic crumbles.
It does, yeah. Sometimes it crumbles, but
crumbled
yeah.
fast this
But
time.
Audible Magic is the one that Google uses actually for their Content ID matches on VODs. So
Oh, so that's why it doesn't work at all. It's awful.
yeah, exactly,
Okay.
yeah, and
It's the same thing.
right, and that people are saying like, oh, that confirms that Google has bought Twitch, but it doesn't really because they're a third party. It's not like Google. If Google owned Audible Magic, then sure, but I don't think it does. I think that's just a third party software. I mean, let me look this up. Maybe Google does own it. If Google does own it, then maybe. But like, Twitch also uses AdSense, and it's been using AdSense forever too, right? So like, that's also Google owned. It doesn't necessarily.
There's two things that stand out to me specifically about the situation that I'm uncomfortable with. The first one was, so we all know that the big thing was that the international VODs were matched for copyright content. And what the CEO said in his AMA about that was that it was a mistake, clearly.
Yeah.
But the software heard the crowd noise, and that set off the Content ID.
Right.
Was the crowd noise. So that tells me, all right, if this system can't even tell what the fuck music is from between music and crowd noise, so it clearly doesn't work well at all.
Yeah.
Like, remotely. It will just pick a random noise, and that is suddenly copyright. So how can you get copyright from crowd noise? That's the most.
Yeah, no, they said that there would be false positives returned in one of their blog posts.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking the same thing. Like, this is kind of a problem because like lots of money could be at stake over nothing.
Yeah.
And the
But they
second,
do have an appeal thing. You can appeal when there's a problem, I heard.
yeah, the second thing that sticks out to me is that clearly some power, whether it be Google or music lawyers or whatever, pushed Twitch to do this. Someone made. I don't think Twitch. This is clearly something that if you didn't. No, I mean, if you didn't have to do this now, there's no reason to do it now.
They could be protecting themselves from future litigation,
Yeah.
or maybe they've had rumblings that there would be at some point.
But why wouldn't they have done that?
Well, okay.
Like,
Here's
4
the
months ago,
because
5
this
months
is all conjecture anyway. Let's look at the recent history on Twitch. Recent history: 2 massive tournaments just happened. The international had like millions of
flooded
viewers.
with money now.
Yeah,
They can afford to fix
flooded.
stuff.
Well, yeah. Not only that, but like that brought a lot of attention towards Switch. Not that all the attention was already going towards Switch anyway. So. This was inevitable. Like they were always gonna do something like this, and you know what? Like people were saying on the Twitch, the Reddit and stuff. They were like, whoa, Twitch didn't need to do this. They weren't pressured. Like they never got sued. Like why do they need to do this? It's like, yeah, that's a great business strategy. Let's wait till we wait till we lose hundreds of millions of dollars to the RAA before we figure something out about this.
But like we know how ridiculous the RA is, and that why would just muting the audio on VODs satiate that requirement? Like,
Because it does
we're
on
still
YouTube.
streaming, right? But we're still streaming live video, live music.
Well,
still
the thing
still doing that.
The thing is, it's a legal gray area, actually, because what we do when we live stream doesn't necessarily fall into the same boundaries that YouTube does, because that's, the difference is, it's kind of radio. So, like, you can actually get a radio, like Total Biscuit has a radio license so that he can play copyrighted music on his Twitch streams, on his live streams. So, like, it actually is a
radio
different...
before he was even involved.
He was. He actually mentioned that in his video.
Yeah, but still, like,
he did radio. Before.
But the legal thing is separated. Like, that's why it's on VODs and not on live streams
See,
yet.
I heard a conflicting thing about that. Like, I heard actually from Total Biscuit that he when he was doing radio in England before he was doing Twitch, before anything. Even though that he had this sort of license, he still had copyright nightmares with
Right, that's not
RIAA
surprising,
and
yeah, but yeah.
this to me, this is like if you're trying to cover your ass, like
Yeah.
this is not gonna do it if they still want to come after you. They can still very easily come after you.
Yeah, and they
For
likely
Now they
the
can
will.
at least say
but-
if
that
you're
they're
streaming
roughly on the same
live-
page as Google.
What was that?
I said now they can at least say if somebody goes after them that why didn't you go after Google? They at least we did what they did, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the,
exactly.
the big thing, or at least the thing, like the whole games thing, Twitch is identified as a gaming. So I don't think game companies are gonna. I think game companies are realizing Twitch is really good. Maybe not Nintendo.
I don't know
although
about Nintendo. Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say
Nintendo's
Nintendo.
the magical fucking
Yeah.
fucking Nintendo. But like it's just there's so many. Technically, I guess legally, if you are a partner from Twitch and you're getting money, you're getting income from ads, and you play copyrighted music on your streams, as far as I know, I'm not a lawyer, but that's you owe royalties for that music.
See, the thing is, though, with that, it kind of has to do with fair use. And in fair use, if work is transformative, which by the very nature of what we do on Twitch, like if you're listening to music that a streamer is listening to while he's commentating on it and commentating on his gameplay while playing a game, then that is by definition transformative. However, someone has to argue that in court, which is why the RIAA hasn't really gone after individual streamers, because that's like, if they lose, if the RIAA loses and they do deem it to be transformative, they are fucked, because the US law operates on precedent, and precedent is set by the court, and if the precedent is set where they lose and they do constitute that as transformative, then it would uphold the ideas of fair use and kind of fuck them over in future litigation. So that's why they tend to stick to the bigger corporations and stuff like Twitch, who they can, like, fucking strong arm money out of, which is also why they did this, why they did the content ID stuff. So, yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, the other thing is, like, for me, like, do we need to play copyrighted music on streams? Like, no.
We don't need to, but it's annoying because it's like 99 times out of 100 copyrighted music on streams is background noise and no one's even listening to the song. Like,
Well, I don't understand why it's not counting as a public performance, and I understand the transformative argument, but in this case, it kind of feels like, what if you were just playing some music in the park and it was copyrighted?
Yeah.
Like, where does that fall legally? Because I thought certain times if you were airing something to more than yourself, because things are all licensed for individual use, don't you need to be cleared for that? And
Or,
that's
see-
also a different angle than what Austin was saying. So there's like 5 different ways.
yeah,
to look at it.
now we're getting into just straight up like copyright law, and if you're on the internet, you know that copyright law is absolutely absurd.
Yeah, it's
and
purposely
just-
vague. It's purposely vague so that it can be set by courts instead of set by, like, strict rules, which is the whole idea, really.
Right.
Like, that's the, because like I said, U.S. law operates on precedent, and that means, like, it's purposely vague so that a judge can decide whether or not this constitutes this or whatnot and so forth. So, like, that's the whole thingery-do. And the thing is with, yeah, I guess playing music in a park, I don't know, like, that it probably can fall under fair use and transformative, I guess. I don't know, like, but
Well,
they're probably
I
not
mean,
going to go
like,
after a
just
person
add-
playing music in a park because
I know.
Yeah.
That's not what I mean specifically. I mean, like, I think a movie would be a better example if you had a public screening of a movie in a park without any kind of licensing or permission. They all say, like, you can only use this for your own private use.
Right.
And I believe music functions in a similar fashion, but none of us are qualified to be able to commentate
Right.
on any of this
Yeah.
shit to this level. I just think it's interesting to think about, like, where we are now and what has changed and what hasn't changed, and why this has specifically come up now and is only regarding VODs. And I think that the main reason is they really wish they could do this to actual live streams as well, but there just isn't a way.
Mm-hmm.
The
Just, like,
site would crumble
stream this.
literally if
Yeah.
Well,
suddenly
You don't even have the
couldn't-
technology, I don't think, to be able to pick out video frames that way live streaming.
right. Like
Especially
they
when
would
you
have
like
to.
a custom UI and all your screen regions are different every
Mhm.
time. You know,
They
you
would have
can't
to have
use-
like an audio bot that goes to random channels and listens to like a 20-second tidbit for music.
Yeah.
And
Well, and
then
the risk
you
is
get
detrimental since there's false positives on the
Right,
audio.
right.
At least
I'm
you're
not saying it would
shooting
work,
something.
but-
But like if you interrupt a live stream with 5,000 people in it, people are going to be pretty pissed, and they'll very quickly turn on Twitch over that.
yeah.
Mm.
And Twitch has said, and they said in the AMA like 4 times, we're not doing anything to live video. We have no plans whatsoever to do
That's
anything
what
live
they said,
video.
yeah.
And of course they say that.
I've seen people saying "yet"
Right,
is the
yeah.
thing, and I am kind of hesitant to agree with them on that because they kind of shouldn't really want to go after that stuff. But also, I see their angle too.
Well, yeah, I mean, really, time will tell. I think it's a little overblown up for me.
Oh, I agree.
It's a lot.
Like,
overblown
it's
up,
like
but
there
I
are
think
people
that's
saying like,
not-
"Oh, it's time to move to hitbox and stuff," or like stuff like that. Like,
you don't want to.
it's like, you know what? You really
can't even move
you really think if enough people went to hitbox that the that they are going to be immune to copyright claims, like they're going to stand up for like what? You really think that's going to happen? Like that's never ever
They just
ever
want
going
to
to
do
happen.
the Napster cycle, man. They want us to go from fucking Napster to Kazaa to LimeWire.
Right, yeah,
so on
exactly.
And, so forth.
And
And
but
then they just get shut down one after another until you get broad sweeping legislation that shuts them all down permanently.
people are saying some really fucked up shit too. I've been seeing on the Reddit is like yeah, stop subscribing to channels, stop subscribing to people's channels to
Oh,
support
great.
Twitch, and it's like,
That would really
wow,
help me.
really, yeah, that's really, yeah, you're gonna punish the people who had no part of this process of doing it. It's just like, oh my god,
It's fucking hard enough to do this without all of us eating each other over it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like, come on.
it's yeah,
I think there's 2 things to take away from this is that one, Twitch is just like that they're not responsible. Like they didn't do this for shits. They're not
Yeah.
they had to do this. They had to do this, and this is probably the least damaging thing they could do to Twitch, but they've said themselves, no one watches VODs on Twitch.
Nobody does, yeah.
Less than 1%, less than like 1% of 1% of people watch VODs on Twitch. It's just people don't do
and
it.
you know what? And people were upset about like the having the 60 days only for VODs kind of thing. It's like, honestly, I totally understand why they're doing that. Firstly, Twitch is a streaming service. Nobody watches the VODs. There's not a very good search function to find VODs, to be honest with you. It's
That's the
already
problem,
been
though.
yeah,
Nobody's watching
but the
them,
thing
and they've
is,
kind of just abandoned
the
them.
thing is, nobody needs VODs on Twitch. You watch the live streams so that they can be live. Like that's the whole idea of the
Right,
whole
but they
thing. And
could have been sort of competition
the-
to YouTube if they
well,
chose to.
but-
Instead, they went the other way.
Right, but the other thing is YouTube is not a profitable company because they have to host so much. They have to spend so much money hosting videos from 2005, and that's why they're not profitable, is because they're it's an exponential curve that doesn't make enough money to combat that curve. So Twitch, I think, is
Yeah.
preemptive in not trying to do that, which I'm totally fine with. If they're trying to be more profitable than YouTube in the future,
Well,
then sure.
Did you read the blog post though? Because they said that they actually were tripling all of the backup data for all the VODs, so it wasn't a storage space issue. They're
Right.
just doing this because they want it to be more secure and they want to keep the focus on live streaming.
They can say
So,
that,
I mean,
but
I understand.
like, yeah,
They kind of abandoned it. And okay, so if they're just saying it, that's conjecture on our part. But also, I kind of maybe agree anyway.
I mean, yeah. Well, the thing is, like 5 years down the line, VODs from like when Twitch first started, one, nobody's gonna watch, and they're still gonna have to pay to host them. So it is fucking YouTube, and it is fucking Facebook too. Facebook spends a lot of money. Like I forgot, it's some ridiculous number, like 10 to 15%
money spent on
yeah,
LOLs.
on just LOL. The word LOL is like 15% of Facebook's server costs is just LOL.
Nice.
Yeah, can you
So,
imagine that? 3 characters
Yeah.
fucking taking up terabytes upon
billions of
terabytes.
dollars just to keep LOL on their site. So like that I understand that with Twitch. I totally do. And I'm okay with that. Like I know people don't really watch the VODs. I don't think I make any money on VODs at all.
I mean,
really.
I honestly,
There's pre-rolls on VOD.
The-
I think.
Yeah, there are, but
might
like
be-
I don't think I make. I mean, like in a.
You show up some days, you get like 5 cents. But
Yeah.
if you're like a huge streamer, I imagine you can make like $20 sometimes.
maybe, yeah.
I wonder, like I agree with Robin that like Twitch is for live things. Honestly, this might be stupid, and I might be wrong in this, but I feel like the better thing, at least in terms of, well, to me, I wouldn't care if they completely just got rid of the VOD system. Like, say they
Yeah.
give you a day to export your VOD if you want,
Mhm.
and then just get rid of it because.
Close to what they did. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
well, yeah, that's
60
what I mean.
days,
Is
yeah.
that they went through this weird, like their timeline was all right. Yesterday morning, they had a blog post about the VODs and making the VODs not last forever and the 60-day, 15-day thing. And then like 7 hours later, they have their blog post about the audio, which nuked so many VODs,
Yeah.
basically,
right.
made them useless. And it's like, I feel like you could have circumvented a lot of this combined anger by just doing one big, all right,
Well, you know what?
no VODs, or you get your VODs for a day and then they're gone.
That's-
'Cause, like I said, no one.
That's another thing.
VODs.
They dropped a lot of fucking bombs in like a 1-day period. And
Right.
the one bomb that people are actually forgetting about too, because everybody's talking about the VODs and the content ID and all that stuff and the changes and stuff like that. The one bomb that they're forgetting about, and this is another tinfoil hat, maybe Google did actually buy Twitch Interactive kind of thing, is they also cut Justin TV. That's dead now. Like that was within the same day period of it was Justin TV's dead, VODs are no longer going to be hosted, and then the content ID matching on stuff with the Audible Magic. So like there's a lot of shit that they just dropped at once, and I think their thinking was like, okay, let's just take all of our hate. Yeah, let's just tear off the Band-Aid, get it all out of the way right away instead of taking steady drops over like announcing this kind of thing over the course of the next couple of months. Just take the one big hit and see where we're left. But then also like that's why it's another tinfoil hat, like maybe Google did actually buy Twitch Interactive, or that's actually happening, because Justin TV doesn't really fit in the whole scheme of things, right? Like, because I'm sure Google would be perfectly happy with moving all gaming content from YouTube to Twitch, because YouTube does not like gaming content in general. They've never supported their live streaming service. They've never upgraded it, which is also kind of a telling sign, because like, why would Google, a massive corporation, not be able to figure out live streaming or try to make it an actually like an applicable service on YouTube? And so that would make sense.
I actually read some stuff on the Justin page, though, and it was like, hey, here's some viable alternatives if you want to stream non-gaming content, and then they cited using YouTube for that.
Right.
So that's kind of interesting, maybe.
Yeah, well,
But,
I mean,
like, what other options really are there? Ustream?
Yeah, they also cited Ustream and Livestream, so, like, yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that, like Justin TV especially, because I don't know if you guys had been on Justin TV in the past year, but literally all the channels are like 24/7 Simpsons episodes or 24/7 movies from the it's like it was super fucked. Like or like live sports of ESPN or live casts of this channel or whatever. It's like that's like super illegal. Super illegal. So if Google did buy Twitch, they don't want because that's going to be a huge story if that actually does happen. They do not want people looking at Justin TV, which is also part of Twitch Interactive. So it would make sense if they nixed that with thinking that Google was doing it. Yeah, nix. But yeah,
I think
that's my assassin.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say I think a lot of the anger for this situation really is actually more fear than anything. People are just slightly scared because I mean, up until this point, Twitch has basically had pseudo immunity. Like they haven't actually had it, but it seems like
it's
they
been
have.
The Wild
Like
West.
You've been able.
Yeah,
You've been able to do anything on Twitch, gaming related, with any kind of copyright, anything, and they were just immune. No one was saying anything about it. There was no law battle. Nothing was going on. It was just fine. And this is the very, very first sign of that
the man
legal not.
in.
Yeah, the man. I guess. But seriously, it's like the first sign, and it was kind of bad timing at the same time. Like again, with all the other things that they did, it was really I think the CEO even said in his AMA, we probably did this way wrong.
Yeah.
And we apologize.
Yeah, they
Notice how they led too with a nice thing too by adding the hosting feature like a couple days before.
Yeah.
I actually I was looking at because I was watching I was looking at the AMA, and at first I didn't know why he answered 3 questions, And then people on Twitter, like Austin included, was just like, yeah, people are just downvoting his comments, which was really fucking stupid, by the way. Like, that's not the way
Yeah,
to.
it's really immature.
It's a really immature way to do it. So they downvoted all his comments. Yeah.
I will say though that's the subreddit's fault as well, because their system is really stupid. Like, if the person replies, even if it's downvoted, it should still be the top reply, because it's a freaking
exactly.
Ask Me
Yeah, it's what the
so
AMA is for.
then you can downvote if you disagree, because then it would still be there and people would see how many downvotes it has, and it'd be totally fine.
Yeah.
Because honestly,
or
like his first like 6 or 7 responses were really stupid and like evasive of the question. He started getting better like once the AMA was rolling.
The other thing, like, why doesn't IAMA follow the rules of like some other subreddits where you can't downvote, you can only upvote? Like, that would make so much more sense for IAMA, right? Like, because then you still get the top questions that people want to have answered upvoted to the top, and you don't get shit like this happening where the actual like the guy who's replying get completely downvoted to the bottom. It's really stupid. But that's like a different thing. The thing that I wanted to mention is they were talking about, he talked about the hosting system. And people were downvoting him, like the hosting system is so fucking, it's like, oh, it's just a money grab, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, really?
What?
Hosting? Like, that was such a good thing.
That's Reddit.
Yeah,
Reddit.
exactly.
How do you even spin that to be negative, really?
You know what? It's just
I can't
people
really
want to
think of
be
many
mad.
negatives at all.
People just want to be mad at things, is what it is.
It was really funny, actually. His first like 10 responses were all heavily downvoted, but one of those responses was a Darude Sandstorm joke. And
Yeah.
had 200 upvotes.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty
just like,
funny, yeah.
All right. I'm glad that through all this rage and anger and hatred, we can still find the time to laugh about Darude
Just put fucking Franker Z's in there and everybody will upvote your shit.
Everyone's happy.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing, is the internet is a fickle place, and people are going to forget about this tomorrow. Nobody's going to boycott Twitch. Nobody's going to move around box.
This is, again, people were scared. People were just scared, and they don't want to see more things.
You know what? I'm with them in their. I'm with them in fear. I have been fearful for Twitch forever. I am fearful of Google buying Twitch. I am very afraid of that. I am with the internet on that. But this was like way out of proportion, and it makes it so that if they do something really bad, who's to say, why are they going to be transparent in the future, right? Because that's the thing. This is how you make companies not fucking care. Like, there's a difference between a company. I tweeted about this where I said you have to learn the difference between a company that is trying to care, like Twitch, and a company that doesn't give a shit, like YouTube. Because that's the thing. Here's the difference. Twitch, the YouTube CEO, he never would have fucking made an AMA or like talked to people on the forums or anything.
Who is the
he would have.
CEO?
Who the fuck knows? Who cares? Like, that's the thing. Like, nobody cares. Actually, it was a former. They just changed a couple months ago. It's a former Google marketing exec. But anyway,
great.
Yeah, but the
it can really help with YouTube's infrastructure.
It's fantastic. But but like, that's the thing. Like, YouTube would have been like, hey, here's some new shit. Take it. Fuck you. That's what YouTube would have done.
Big old dick right across the face.
But
that's
Twitch is not trying to do that. You can't.
Yeah, Twitch is like, all right, this is a dick, but I'm going to tell you all about it.
And I'm going to tell you why it needs to happen.
We can try and fix it. All right? It's still going to hit you in the face, but just bear with me.
I'm going to take it nice and slow, and I'm going to give you a countdown.
Yeah. Like, I can't help this dick that's coming. It's got to come right now. And I'm going to tell you it's on its way. But just no, like, YouTube's not gonna do that, and you gotta know.
Give you a nice soft rag to bite down on if you need one.
And you know what? I'll take that every time over the just here's a dick, fuck you.
His dick.
Yeah, exactly. Like that.
This is the best
like this was
ever.
This was inevitable forever. We knew it wasn't gonna be the Wild West forever on Twitch. This was always gonna happen. It just happened very suddenly, and people were upset about it, but they were disproportionately upset. And the thing is, what I'm afraid of is the backlash. Maybe Twitch doesn't do this in the future. Maybe Twitch is just like, all right, people are going to be pissed anyway, so fuck it, let's just do whatever we want to do, because that's what YouTube does. And that's what I'm afraid of. And that's also why I'm afraid that YouTube or Google is going to buy Twitch, because if they handle it the same way, that's going to suck. Not to mention, me as a content provider on Twitch, I'm especially scared because that'll cut directly into my paycheck if Google buys Twitch. Like, who's to say if Google's not going to take another 40% out of the subscriptions, and who's to say that that doesn't carry over? I mean, it's already carried over Google Plus onto YouTube. Why not carry it over onto Twitch too? Get an even bigger user base, and carry over AdSense and carry over my fucking network, who's going to take another 40% of my revenue. So like a subscription at the end of the day maybe gives me 30 cents.
That's the thing that I was most worried about. Right now, it's like I have 2 jobs. I work at YouTube and I work at Twitch. And I know it's not actually that because I'm not actually employees. I'm like a free subcontractor, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Freelancer, whatever. But yeah, the idea of having those 2 things consolidated into one, and then where that puts Machinima into the mix of things, who I couldn't want to get further away from right now.
Right.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I didn't actually say that. Fuck you. Yeah, I don't want that to happen at all. And if that does happen, I don't even know where you go after that. Like, what do you even do to stay relevant or possibly still keep doing what we're doing? There's not a lot of options.
Yeah,
you don't go to
Hitbox,
Hitbox.
yes.
Everything's solved.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of Hitbox, it was great is that so many people have been rage going to Hitbox that it can't handle it, and this website just keeps going down like, all day.
That's hilarious.
Not to mention, a lot of the people that are upset about this don't even realize they have a contract and aren't allowed to use Hitbox.
Oh, really? With which people?
I'm not going to say names, but I just know people that have subscriber buttons that are trying to leave and shouldn't, because that's dumb and you're going to get in trouble.
Is it's against the rules with Twitch to stream on another service?
Yeah, you're supposed to stream with Twitch.
I don't know that, actually.
Well, I mean, it varies on every person's contract, so I guess I can't say unilaterally that they're all breaking the rules, but...
Right. Yeah, well...
Read your contracts, that's all.
Yeah.
So, I guess at the end of the day, don't be angry, but be kind of worried.
Yeah. I'm worried. I'm totally worried about it. I will be the first with you, internet, to raise your pitchforks and torches when Google buys Twitch. But until then, like, read into some shit. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's the first day. Well, we're recording this after the first day of implementation. Of course there are going to be problems, and of course it's going to be implemented badly. Every single example of anything being implemented the first day of anything ever in the history of forever, games, websites, whatever, it always ends up bad at first. Like, that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna make the system better. That's the whole idea.
My website was fine.
Was it? Yeah.
I made that shit myself. It works.
Yeah. But, you know, so it's just... I think
and stop
it's gonna get better.
misreporting shit too. Big
Yeah.
websites.
I
Stop
know.
doing that.
I don't
It's
actually
so fucking
know.
Annoying.
Like, I understand that all of games press is pretty much all of it is blog journalism, and like they're not held to a higher standard in which they need to have real sources. But like, this is like second, third, fourth, fifth-hand information.
It's common belief amongst everyone I talk to on Twitch is like, oh, so obviously we all know that Google bought Twitch.
Yeah.
Like, why do you know that? And then they all say, oh, you didn't see the big article on VentureBeat?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Actually, and it's not a thing.
It's sourceless. It's without a fucking source, yeah.
Some guy in an alley told me that Google is
No,
buying
but like
Twitch,
that's
baby.
functionally the same fucking thing. Like that's like straight up what's going on. Like Kotaku's reporting like, oh, Google bought Twitch.
They all just report each other and turn it into a big circle jerk, and then people actually are like, why don't you know this obvious information?
Well, what's sad is
it's
that
like people think they're Adam Schefter from ESPN or something.
Yeah.
Like Adam Schefter will be like, this guy told me this was going to happen in football, and everyone believes him because Adam Schefter is like right 95% of the time.
Yeah.
So he's got credibility. Some dude on VentureBeat doesn't fucking have
just
credibility.
some random support. Like usually on these blog sites, it's not even a person who like works in an office. It's just some guy writing in these articles from home. Usually,
the guy is just lying to get get a bunch of views, and
you know
and
how
he's
many
like,
thing is, I
shit.
kind of believe that it's probably actually true, but until
Yeah.
it's
I do
actually
too,
said
yeah.
to be true, I'm not going to say that.
Exactly. Yeah. I will also not say like the writing's on the wall maybe, but it's not confirmed. Like
I'm not going to be surprised when that news comes out. I'll go, oh, all right, well, there you go. But
yeah,
right now, I don't know that.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
stop telling me that it's obvious because
it could be total bullshit. Like it could be entirely bullshit. And also like, I don't know. If it's a random source, how do they have the number? And if it's like a business transaction that actually went through, you can't do that in secret. Like that's what they're saying. Like, oh, confirm Google bought Twitch for $1 billion in this, but according to a source. It's like, that's like, that has to be public. All of, like, U.S. law says that you can't do that shit. If they actually bought them for $1 billion, you can go into the fucking, you can, like, there are websites that just have, like, government websites that just have all of these things happening, and you can look at them directly, so you can know if that actually happened. So a random source saying, like, $1 billion purchase, like, happened, I don't know. I don't think
so is that just politics where you're allowed to hide and move your money around with super PACs and shit?
Yeah.
You can't do that with companies.
Exactly,
You can
yeah.
only use tax shelters offshore to do that.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
companies do that. Yeah, fuck everything. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't actually.
I just got really angry at like 3 different things, and I tried to make a joke about all
Right.
3, and it didn't work.
I don't know enough to know if Rob is right or not, but I feel like it's probably not as easy
Well,
as that.
well, no, it is actually super. Like, there are government websites. Like, that's how I know that YouTube isn't profitable too, is because, like, it's not like they report this information, but
Okay.
you can go look up their W-10s because they have to file them publicly
Sure.
every year.
I just
like,
don't
that's
know
something.
that firsthand either because I
Yeah.
haven't done that.
Well, yeah, they're just government websites you can go on and look at their, because it has to be public. It's legally required that it's public. Like, Goldman Sachs can't buy Merrill Lynch under the table and then nobody knows about it. Like like they
I
can't
think
just
if
secretly
anyone
be.
could, they probably.
Well, okay, yeah, maybe that's a bad example. They probably could.
I'm pretty
do
sure
that,
if
yeah.
anyone can shove $1 billion in 100s under a table, it's probably them.
Yeah, that's a
Probably
good
GE.
point. But still, you know what I mean. You can't secretly purchase a company like that. That doesn't happen. Maybe they're in talks. I don't doubt that they're in talks. Like, it would make
They're
a whole lot of
probably
sense.
in talks.
The other thing is, here's another thing. If the FCC worked how it's supposed to work, then they should really look at this kind of purchase and say,
Right.
hey, this is a really bad idea.
Anti-competitive.
Yeah, this is like totally
Is the
anti-competitive.
FCC really
Well, that's the
split
other
up
thing,
the
yeah.
monopoly.
Like, that's the other thing is all the rumors that Comcast is buying Time Warner and Time Warner's on auction and all that stuff. But, like, if that happens, where Comcast buys Time Warner and one company controls, like, 60%
Right.
of the internet, providing the internet for, like, 60% of the country, then the FCC, historically, is supposed to be like, hey, nah, son, you can't do that. That is
So-
fucked.
The Comcast Time Warner story is actually the same story,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
It's
exactly.
everyone reporting that a thing happened that hasn't happened publicly.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that there's
'Cause I keep
rumors
getting
that
told
it
that
happened.
same thing, that Time Warner has already been bought by Comcast.
It's
just a
headline
matter of
news.
time.
It's the whole idea of news. News has become, it's the blog journalism and how
Right.
news has become just
There
clickbait.
was-
It's BuzzFeed. Every fucking news site
yeah.
is BuzzFeed
I
now.
can't handle the fear mongering anymore. I don't
There-
have enough
oh,
energy.
I'm going to get to that. There was a Twitter post showing like 2 different news sites talking about the Ebola patients being moved from Africa
Oh,
to the U.S.
yeah, man.
That basically, what happened was 2 U.S. citizens were moved from. They had Ebola in Africa, and they were moved to be treated in the U.S. So they wouldn't die. And the 2 different articles or headlines. One of them was 2 Ebola patients arrive in U.S. Being transported. It was accurate titles. Okay. And then there was one for Fox News, and it was just like Ebola in U.S.
Yeah, it's headline
Can you
journalism.
not die with Ebola?
It's
I
a
thought if you had Ebola, you're like dead.
No, you can be treated.
no, yeah, you can totally be treated in America.
Yeah. It has a very high kill rate.
Yeah, not in America.
But yeah, I mean,
Actually, Ebola. That's one of the things. Is the reason it doesn't spread beyond poor countries is because it can be treated if you have money, and we have money. So
I thought because the people died before they got a chance to spread it.
yeah, well that too.
that's
Yeah,
why it spreads slowly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
that's-
doesn't- well.
yeah.
yes, it's better.
but it's
So that
treatable.
disease has been pretty overhyped in terms of its
Yo,
lethality. Then.
Oh yeah, that's the whole. It's the same thing. Look, every year here, I'm gonna let you guys
Why
in
do we
on a
wanna
little secret.
sensationalize the death of our civilization. That's not funny.
I'll tell you. I'm gonna give you a inside scoop on news cycles every year.
Give it to
Every
me, man.
year
Give it.
around this time, usually, actually, a lot of times it's during the winter and fall. Maybe it'll happen again this year too. There's a new virus that's gonna kill everybody. What last year was H1N1,
SARS.
staph infection. SARS,
Bird flu.
yeah, like the the Nile virus,
Jungle
all that stuff. It happens every year at this around the same time. It's to sell newspapers every time. Like the what was it? H1N1 killed like 3 people last year or something, right? Like they were saying it was gonna kill everybody.
Yeah.
And it killed
the reason
like an
H1N1
old
was
like
scary
it
was
killed
because
like
it was
an
infecting healthy people. That was
Yeah.
the only reason people.
But
like,
it was
there was even news about it.
It killed like an old lady and a baby, and it was like, yeah, I mean those people die a lot as well. So like, you know, flu probably killed more babies and old people that year
I don't
than
have any of this
H1N1
information
did.
in front of me though, Rob. So I can't honestly believe everything you just said at face value. I'd need to look into it more.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying when there's another flu craze happening, just, you know, take it with a grain of salt before you decide to go build your bunker in
forget
the
that
ground
flu
with canned
kills
food.
Literally thousands and thousands of people, like
Yeah.
every month.
Well,
So-
exactly, yeah, like
Right.
that's a big fucking, that's like a bigger deal than half the other, like they're always talking about these mega germs that are gonna kill, but it's just to sell fucking newspapers, it's for clicks, it's for fucking clicks. That's all it is, it's for ads.
I
That's
mean,
all this
in all
shit
seriousness,
is.
though, of super disease is actually a very possible and probably slightly one of the more likely ways the world ends, kind of thing. But
Yeah, maybe.
it,
Maybe
I
we
mean,
get hit by a
but-
fucking comet. Like, it's
you
just like,
you will know, you will know when that starts to happen. It won't be like, oh, Ebola in Africa, be scared. It will be like, oh shit, like 10,000 people suddenly infected within a week. And they're
And the thing is, we're also numb to all media that we won't even know how to properly react when something serious actually happens, because we have no channels for real information
the thing
anymore.
that really irks me is that this kind of thing has gotten to a point where it's been politicized, which really frustrates me, like the anti-vaccination people that are
Right,
just
like, yeah, having an opinion on something now is either it's this nebulous right and wrong that depends on whether or not you believe in the left or the right wing.
yeah, it's like, I don't understand.
It's either right or fucking wrong.
Yeah, like I don't even get where that one comes from, where it's just like yeah, can't do vaccine, and then everybody, it's like you're going on a fucking gluten diet, except this time you're playing with fucking lives. This is
it's hipster
people's
science.
lives,
It's like
exactly.
We've invented our own counter science because we just don't like yours.
It's
We want a more insular version.
really fucking frustrating, and I don't know. It's
That fucks with everybody.
It
That
does.
fucks with herd immunity if you start taking away people that are vaccinated. Whether or not you believe in this shit.
You know, there's actually been a rise in polio recently because people stopped doing
Yeah, I
this,
know.
the anti-vaccination movement. And it's like,
But
yeah, we
not-
cured
that's
that
what you-
fucking disease. Like, that's what the vaccination is for, so people don't get that shit. We
What's
fixed
great-
that.
You know what's
Yeah.
the best, I guess the worst thing about it, about the polio thing, was that it was people who were vaccinated getting polio because of people who weren't vaccinated who had polio.
Yeah.
Like, they,
And
like,
you can see that would really easily give them some weird confirmation bias about it too, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's awful because, like, you not protecting your own child is now threatening other people who are protecting their children and not being complete imbeciles.
Ugh.
Like, you're
Yeah.
literally, like, triple dipping and murdering children.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Your
Dipping
right to
in the-
choose ends at when you're hurting other people. That's how it is with every other fucking law in the world. That your rights
That's just
end when
morality
they're
at
hurt.
that
Yeah,
point.
well, yeah, it is basically
Yeah,
just
except for
ethics.
religious
But you're
morality,
right.
which doesn't.
Yeah, but like your rights end when they're hurting other people. That's where your rights fucking end. All right. So I don't know. I'm not gonna take it. You know what? And that's the other thing too. Is like I hate being like I hate doing this and being like I don't want to take it to a political place. This shouldn't be a fucking political thing. This isn't a political thing. It's just I'm sorry. It's not a political thing. The vaccinate your fucking kids. I'm sorry.
Da, na, na, na. Or you know.
Yeah, I mean, do you like people dying? Because I don't. Can we agree on that?
It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
pretty sure.
And this is a
amazingly
liberal
enough,
thing
if you
too,
ask
isn't it?
enough people, some people will be like, no, I don't agree with you. I kind of want some people to die. Like,
Yeah.
oh, can you just not be a part of this conversation? Because
Maybe
Yeah.
part of this earth and just leave.
but people have a right to an opinion, but sometimes your opinions are so fucked.
You know what? It's like one of those things. I don't know. I'm not even gonna go into it.
Yeah.
This kind of thing is more for an Isaac episode where I can offend a lot of people that I want to offend, where I'm all right with it. Nah, I won't go into more of it, but like.
Well, I mean, it's yours and my channel. I'm getting more and more tolerant of offending people. Hopefully, people are getting more accustomed to it as well. But yeah, if you don't want to get into it, that's fine too.
Well, I'm fine. Yeah. Huh?
Sort of off topic, but it relates to what we were talking about earlier. If you want to see slightly underrated, good disease movie, Contagion came out a few years ago. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's
it's pretty accurate. Not accurate, like didn't happen, but it's an accurate portrayal of what could happen in that situation. It's
that's
a pretty good movie.
It's a real sad one though.
Who did that? That was Soderbergh. Yeah, that's Steven Soderbergh. Really good.
Was it Damon or Wahlberg? I always get them confused.
They're the same guy.
I think I don't. Yeah, it was Matt Damon. Yeah, Matt Damon. Matt Damon.
If you part his hair on the other side, he actually changes to a different person.
Oh, really?
He just shaves his face on one side and lets the other one grow out. And then he starts walking backwards and he becomes Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
It's actually really wild.
It's very surprising, yeah.
I can't differentiate the two in movies. Like I can tell you that movie A had either Matt Damon or Mark Wahlberg in it. I will never be able to tell you which one it was.
What are you trying to say? All white,
movie with
all white people look alike?
That happened. It had Matt Damon or Mark Wahlberg in it.
Are you trying to say all white people look alike? It's racist.
No, I'm saying Matt Damon and Matt Damon and Mark Wahlberg don't even look alike that much.
Can't even say their names well. You like Steven?
I can't. It's like Mark Damon and Matt Dahlberg. Oh, God.
Matt Dahlberg. Introducing Matt Dahlberg. In this summer's blockbuster, shark attacks cause germs, tornado meteorites.
I was gonna work a tornado in there. I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
It's a movie that just came out. Comes out tomorrow. By the time we're recording this, about a tornado, like Into the Storm. It's what it's called, I think.
Yeah.
Are there sharks?
No, it's just a town gets hit by multiple tornadoes. Disaster film.
Oh, we have like the Midwest for that movie if you want to.
Yeah, just film the mid.
Seriously, just film anywhere around Oklahoma City last year, and you will have. Last year in Oklahoma City, there was literally the largest tornado ever
like Universal Studios in fucking.
I wanted to say
that happened.
Yeah, well, also North Dakota had like the worst hurricane ever last year that destroyed everything, but nobody reported it really because.
Wait.
What?
North Dakota?
Yeah.
Had a hurricane?
They had some. Yeah, no, I think it was a hurricane. I think it was some fucked up shit, and it was like super.
Do you know this?
Wait, no,
you can't just backpedal away from a hurricane in North Dakota.
Well, there was a tornado in New York like last year or 2 years ago.
I had a tornado on my road.
Really?
Not a hurricane though.
All right, hold on. North Dakota.
Rob, I don't think you know what a hurricane is.
There was a minor touchdown on literally the road I live on in New York, in upstate New York, and like swirled a bunch of trees together and fucking spaghettified all the power lines at the bottom of the mountain.
Nick, I'm sorry, but he just said a hurricane hit North Dakota. Are we on the same page?
I'm giving him some time so he can go Google it and figure out.
I'm Googling it right now.
I know you are, and that's why I was talking.
Rob's hurricanes form in the ocean.
Maybe it's a tornado.
It was probably a tornado.
Maybe it was a blizzard. I don't remember. Maybe it was a blizzard.
Okay, Rob.
There was something. Some like massive shit fucked up.
It could have been
North
a bad
Dakota.
storm, but it wasn't a hurricane.
Yeah, maybe.
It was a tsunami in North Dakota.
That would be amazing if they got a tsunami in North Dakota.
It would be amazing if a hurricane hit
North Dakota.
There was I don't know. There was something crazy that happened in North Dakota, but anyway, my point was that it happened and nobody reported it because it's North Dakota. Nobody really cared. Yeah, but also the other thing that I was gonna say was like it's hard to feel bad for people who live in. It's hard to feel bad for people who live in Tornado Alley because it's like, guys, like you live in you're. It's called Tornado Alley. I mean,
yeah.
Of course I feel
people
bad.
don't have a choice where they live sometimes, and that's not really fair.
No, I agree, but it's like the Louis C.K. bit of like the of course but maybe thing, where it's like of course I feel bad for anybody who's displaced by a tornado, like or lose, like that's fucked up, like obviously, but maybe you shouldn't live in a place called Tornado Alley. Like maybe if I lived in a neighborhood called Stabby Stabby Get Dead Town, I would consider moving. You know, like maybe I'd work some shit out and go somewhere else.
If it was solidified to the point where that was the name of the town, I think there's bigger issues. Because they've accepted it at that point. They've embraced that that's the title of this town.
Yeah, Stabby.
You need to get some cops.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's Newark actually is what
Tornadoes
we're
are
referring to. Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Stabby,
That tornado that I'm talking about was 2 miles wide. 2 miles.
2 miles.
That's absurd.
2
They
miles.
had a prison that was in 1 mile, if I remember.
That's hardcore.
Or no, it was 8 miles. That
Oh
was
yeah, 8 Mile.
Detroit.
That's where Eminem lives. Eminem lives in the 8 Miles. I've heard.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, Nick? Oh, okay.
I do these free association jokes that don't actually have a punchline or are funny, and I just let them come out sometimes.
Yeah, it's Nick humor. Rob humor is just
Yeah.
taking those
Change
punchlines
a
and
word.
changing the words. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Rob humor
I
is
just
a
say weird
hurricane
things.
hitting North
Yeah.
Dakota.
Mhm. I like my Rob humor example would be Shate File. There you go.
Shade 5.
That's
Oh,
the
I
joke.
like the sound of that though. It
Yeah, it
reminds me
sounds
of
pretty
shale.
good. Yeah. It's, you
I
get
have
some
less
words.
sympathy for people who decided to set up a house like 3 feet away from a beach than I do about
Yeah.
living
Yeah.
in Tornado Alley.
Like yeah, that one too is just like
Tornado
all right.
Alley is literally like a third of the country.
Yeah, it's a massive area, but like if you live on a beach, the chances of there being waves are very, very high.
I'm pretty sure I live in Tornado Alley right now.
Oh, wow.
The very, very southern tip of it, but
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
like
Tornado Alley is
oh yeah,
like-
yeah, you do. Yeah, it's like part of Texas, like Kansas
It's
and
a big
Arkansas,
chunk of
but
it.
it's like why are you living in Kansas or Arkansas anyway? Just move. Like that's a bad place.
Farmland,
it-
man.
I don't like I don't agree with you on the Tornado Alley thing, but Oklahoma City, I know it's a big city, but that thing has the worst luck with tornadoes.
Do they?
Like, yeah, like
Nah.
last year it was what was it? Moore, Oklahoma, which was outside. I think it was Moore. Got hit by. And this wasn't even the same 2 mile tornado, but it was an F5 tornado.
Oh,
just went
isn't that
through-
as high as they go?
Yes, actually, well, I think you can actually. Well,
Is there
it's
a new
debatable because
classification?
there was one tornado that was
Obama
also in
ruined the
Oklahoma
weather?
City that I think hit like 10 years ago. That was like 310 mile per hour winds or something, and
Uh-huh.
they wanted to maybe call it F6 because it was the fastest winds
Yeah.
ever recorded on a tornado, but they were like, nah, we'll just keep calling it F5. But yeah, like you could still technically go past F5. It
You
just
can F5 to quick save.
Yeah, you could refresh
F5
too.
refresh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You refresh your page.
I am personally fascinated by tornadoes. That's why I'm kind of going off on a tornado tangent.
They're
Now that
pretty
Obama
crazy, yeah.
broke the weather by messing up all of the shit, I'm assuming probably like F10s and shit with like black
F10.
holes are gonna start opening up over Oklahoma.
Yeah, those are
City
the
next
those are
year.
the ones that their tornadoes made entirely of planes, shoot missiles and
Nice.
stuff.
There's actually, speaking of crazy,
They're called a singularity.
there's 2 hurricanes, 2 separate hurricanes, both heading towards Hawaii at the same time right now.
Oh, it's a perfect storm type conditions. They should call up Mark Wahlberg.
Nice. Or is it Matt Damon?
Also, isn't there a volcano
know?
starting in Yellowstone Park? I mean, it's always been there, but isn't it starting to like go off?
Oh, is it really? That
It's been
sucks.
starting to go off for like.
Well, yeah, it's like
2000.
Pompeii too. It's like I can't feel that bad for the people in Pompeii. Like
Well,
live
yeah.
under a volcano.
It's just like melted the roads in front of Yellowstone Park. I think is what I read.
Oh, that's shitty.
Yeah, you could have driven on those. Now they're just tar.
If I had to pick away the world, it's probably Yellowstone. That'd be the coolest one.
Okay, perfect
But
storm
nobody
is Mark
comments
Wahlberg.
saying that it's like new information that there's a volcano there. I know that. You don't have to tell me that. I know I'm gonna get a lot of that.
Okay, yeah, it was Mark Wahlberg in the Perfect Storm, by the way.
Well, you did actually now making
Also, yeah, no, you made me be like, wait a second, was that Matt Damon?
Are you sure though?
Was
Look
the-
at 3 times.
No, I'm at IMDb. There's actually a really great picture of George Clooney, from
Yeah.
Perfect Storm. Like here, look at you. Look at this if you
Well,
want.
no, the thing is, like, if you read Mark Wahlberg's name enough times, it might change.
That's a good point. Yeah, I hadn't really considered
Might
that.
have shaved his face and his head again, and maybe he'll switch places.
They could have just changed names. Yeah.
Ooh.
What? What do you mean? What? We went over how he keeps one part of his face covered in
no,
hair,
I
and
was-
then he shaves it, and then he grows in the other side, and he changes
I
forms.
was making a Mark Wahlberg joke.
Oh, God damn it!
No.
Oh, I hate that
happens.
movie so much.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
bad.
Did you,
Oh, it's so bad.
did you see the George Clooney picture that I linked
Yeah,
at
I did.
Scam? Ah! It's like that's a big fucking wave.
Guys, you have any closing thoughts? I think we need to close up. this
Yeah, we
episode.
should probably round it out.
We were angry. We made Mark Wahlberg jokes. We talked about the world ending.
Yeah, it
in
went a
multiple
long
ways.
way. Yeah.
And
It's a
hurricanes.
solid
in North
episode.
Yeah, it's a good podcast.
There was
episode.
good
I'm not going to let you live that down, by the way, Rob.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
we don't
fair.
have to. Make it a topic on his
Watch,
stream or
there's gonna
something.
be a hurricane in North Dakota next year. It's gonna happen.
You're just very confident about it. Maybe.
I'm sorry, North Dakota people watching the stream. You're gonna get hit by the hurricane. I
All
was gonna
like
say
2 of
tornado.
them are going to be devastated.
I want the best for our North Dakota viewers, so don't listen to these guys. I care about you. Don't let them bother you.
Be worried
Okay,
about this
single
hurricane
digits of them.
on the way. There's gonna be a new sea. Canada's gonna fall out, and then there's gonna be a sea there.
Canada's gonna fall out.
Yeah.
Canada fallout.
Of what?
I think there's like at least 9 people that live in the Dakotas total,
Yeah, probably. Yeah, something like that.
Are they snowflakes?
basically.
Probably. Anyway, thanks for watching Magic, everybody.
Thanks for watching. See you later.
Bye.
Goodbye.
This is Alpaca Patrol signing out. Peace, fools.